Here, having a rare Saturday off commentating, getting ready for Bank Holiday Monday's playoff final between Aston Villa and Derby County. You'll be able to hear that from 2:45, kick off at 3 o'clock. Remember that, peeps. So you've got your Bank Holiday feast of footy sorted out with me commentating as well. In fact, it's a week of big finals because hopefully we'll have the Europa League on Wednesday night and then the big one, the European Cup final, a week tonight now with myself and my old mate Chris Whiteman, who will be doing the commentary that night in Madrid. And what a game that really does promise to be. That is for certain. Obviously subject to change, of course, but it's been a remarkable season for our channel, and it's also been a great week for the FA. I have to say, the FA Cup from 2021. It's been announced a couple of days ago, but I thought we're going to talk about that a little bit, and we're going to talk about some good news coming out of Burnley Football Club. It's not often I make good news videos about Burnley as well, so they're twined into one because it's two pieces of good news. So no rant video today, no nonsense, just happiness really. We'll talk about Nick Pope staying at the club. He was subject to a move away to Bournemouth, but that's all diminished now. We'll touch on that to finish. But let me start with some great news to do with the FA Cup, and BT Sport have lost the rights. Yippee! I hate their coverage. I hate it with a passion. But ITV have bought up the rights, so it means for the first time since 1988 that the FA Cup will be exclusive on the two big free-to-air channels. So it's going to be on the BBC, who are going to show 18 matches a season from 2021 till 2025, and ITV are going to show more matches. They're going to show upwards of 20 plus, so that you're going to see like 40 live football games. Okay, it's the FA Cup. In fact, you're going to see just over 50 live matches on free-to-air television from 2021. There'll be a few England games on ITV. There's a Community Shield in this new FA deal that they've got. So they've got a 4-year deal with the FA ITV. So they're going to show live matches from the first round, obviously through to the final, and they're going to have more than 20 matches. So it's going to be in the region of between 20 to 25 matches, I would have thought. They also, the deal, as I said, includes the Community Shield, and obviously the sharing coverage with the BBC. Now, BBC will have first pick of round 1. ITV then have round 2 first pick, and then the second round, ITV get first pick. As I say, third round, BBC get first pick. Fourth round, ITV first pick, and then obviously fifth round, BBC, ITV quarterfinals, and BBC get first pick of the semi-finals. But it's an amazing deal. So there's going to be upwards of 40 live games. With the first picks, ITV will also get fourth. We'll also have up to, I think they'll be showing up to 6 matches around up until the quarterfinals or something like that. So massive news there that all FA Cup football from 2021 till 2025 is going to be on terrestrial TV. And in a week where we've been absolutely lambasting UEFA quite rightly for holding a Europa League final in Baku and then showing it not on free-to-air television, this is a refreshing moment. The Football Association, power to you. And if UEFA and the Premier League are looking in, take note of this deal. If we could get a 1 match a week from the Premier League on ITV a week, instead of this stupid Amazon deal, think of what good that could do. You get a wider audience, a casual audience watching Premier League football every other year. And that's what the FA have done. They've looked into it, and they've realised that people cannot afford to pay the high amounts for Sky and BT Sport. That is one in the eye for BT Sport. They've lost the Scottish games, and they've lost. Well, they lose them at the end of next season, and they're losing the FA Cup. I don't think their coverage of the Champions League has ruffled any feathers. Europa League haven't ruffled any feathers. I think it's become stale. The commentary team's not good enough. and that's no bad thing on Darren Fletcher. He's a radio commentator essentially. He's been thrusted into television, and I don't think he can cope with that medium. That's my opinion of the coverage. But I mean, to just have the FA Cup on free to air and in England games as well. One more thing I would love ITV to do is get the Champions League rights back. ITV and Sky did the Champions League better than what BT ever could. They were both networks were superb, and ITV was been showing it for over 20 years before they lost the highlights rights last year, which I thought was a disgrace, really. And it's a real disgrace that we've got two great matches ahead of us, and they're not going to be on free-to-air television, and I find that very, very disturbing, really, that they're not going to be on terrestrial television. But I think with this new deal now, I think associations like UEFA and, of course, the Premier League and maybe the Football League, when their deal with Sky, exclusive deals with Sky runs out a few years down the line, maybe they might have to look again, because if you can get football to the en masse on terrestrial television, whether it's through BBC ITV, doesn't matter what channel they show on, BBC One, BBC Two, ITV, or even ITV4, they show some football. They've been showing La Liga, which has been getting some decent figures as well. So there's a market on free to air out there for people. I just think the associations need to be braver and just maybe get the Premier League or the Football League out to the casual viewer that might want to watch football games on a Saturday without having to pay through the nose about £100 every month for a subscription. It's just too high. So that's a great deal, and it's good to see that both BBC and ITV from 2021 will be covering that competition, the FA Cup. So great. And also an opportunity for the lesser likes from the first and second round to really get their 15 minutes of fame, which they shall richly deserve as well. So they'll be showcasing the lower end of the market as well and bringing them to a mass audience, which I think is fantastic. Now Burnley news. Moving on, Burnley news. Nick Pope, what a great piece of news. Fantastic news. Nick Pope has said he's looking forward to spending his majority of his career at the club after signing a new long-term contract. He's 27 years old, so he's going to probably have the best years. He's probably going to be the long-term successor for Tom Heaton, who's now getting on to 33, possibly 34 now, so he's getting on quite a bit. He made 2 appearances last season, and after dislocating his shoulders, they were both in the FA Cup against Barnsley and Manchester City, and obviously he's up against Tom Heaton, so that fuels rumours that Joe Hart's thankfully going to be on his way. There were rumours that Bournemouth were going to bid £15 million for his services, but Nick Pope has come out and said, "I love being where I am. I love working with the lads every day." Now, this new deal will keep the former Charlton goalkeeper, who started his league career at Charlton, with the Clarets until June 2023. So another 4 years of Nick Pope and an option of a 5th year if he so desires. Pope goes on to say, with the contract being for a further 4 years, that will carry me through to the majority of my career. And of course, Pope was in the World Cup squad and as well. But thankfully, Pope has fully recovered and he's in a good place, and he's looking forward to next season. So that's great news to start the summer off for a Burnley fan. If our transfer business is just as good as what we've just heard there with Nick Pope, I think we could be in for a good summer here. And I'm pretty optimistic that the summer window could be a decent one here for Burnley. I think we need 5 players that 5 players that have got substantial quality, preferably Premier League experience if possible. If not, certainly the best talent out in the Championship would be sufficient, but there have been rumours circulating that we're also looking at foreign shopping abroad as well. It could be good times for us here this summer for Burnley, and if we can have a better season in the league next year than we did this year, finishing 15th is no mean achievement for a club of our size. But it's the only bugbear is if the first half of the season had been better than what the second half of the season actually was, I think I mean, I would have not grumbled with 10th or 11th to finish the season. But, 15th still a good return, 40 points. It's what we set out to achieve at the start. Even despite finishing 7th last year, we couldn't possibly keep that up. We knew it was going to be a tougher season that's just gone than the season before that, when we just had this run where we couldn't stop winning games and finished 7th. So it's great news for Burnley. Great start to the summer. And I'll be obviously updating any new players that come in on the JB Clark YouTube channel throughout the summer as well. We've also have some Cricket World Cup commentaries as well, commentary highlights from the best of the games from the Cricket World Cup. Obviously, we're not in a position to cover the lot, but we'll try and cover the best ones going around. And of course, the final itself. Hopefully, just get some summer sport out of the way. But we'll be taking a break and then coming back in August, recharge with a Charity Shield match. So, but as I say, there's still 3 more games to come. So just to remind you, Monday, Bank Holiday Monday, 2:45, I start with a 3 o'clock kickoff from Wembley. Aston Villa take on Derby for that final Premier League place and £130 million windfall to go with it. Yeah, you'll be able to hear that, and you'll be able to hear that in its entirety, whether it's over 90 minutes, extra time or penalties. Same applies to the Europa League final, which takes place on the Wednesday. And of course, a week tonight, the big one, the massive one, the European Cup final, an all-English affair, the first time since 2008 when Chelsea played Manchester United and United won what was really a disappointing game in truth on penalties. Let's hope this one has a lot more excitement than that one before, and hopefully the Arsenal one, and and hopefully all that ticketing mess and that lot gets sorted out. It's very difficult for Arsenal and Chelsea fans. I can appreciate that, and I've made a video on that, and I don't wish to revisit that because my views on UEFA as regards that haven't changed from the video I made about a week and a half ago. But thank you very much for watching. Have a fantastic weekend. I'll be back with you on Monday for the playoff final live commentary stream. I cannot wait to commentate on that. It's usually a very good game, and if it's any good than the semi-finals that we've already brought to you, then I think we could be in for one hell of a game. But thank you very much for watching. Have a fantastic weekend. See you on Monday at 2:45. Until then, from me, JB, take care, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you later. Ta-ra.